Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking at something pretty practical. 8 exercises that supposedly can really change how your body feels and moves.
Yeah, the source is a YouTube video from FitZip.
Right, FitZip. And our goal here is basically to pull out the key info for you. If you're listening, you probably want ways to boost your well-being without wading through tons of content.
Exactly. Get straight to the point.
So that's the plan. We'll break down these 8 exercises, look at why they're recommended, especially, after 40 maybe, and see what benefits they might actually offer for things like strength, stability, posture, without needing, hours in the gym.
And it's all based on the transcript from that fitness video.
Okay, let's get into it. The first one they mention, it sounds fundamental.
It really does. They kick things off with the farmer's walk,
Okay.
and they frame it as, the ultimate foundation for your whole body.
A foundation. Interesting.
Yeah, the idea is it's key for rebuilding stability that maybe you've lost over time, especially with more sedentary habits.
Okay, farmer's walk, so you just grab weights and walk. Sounds simple.
Deceptively simple, maybe. The video argues it's crucial if you feel like your grip isn't what it was, or your core feels a bit shaky, or maybe you even worry about tripping sometimes.
I can see that.
They have this great description, a networking event for your muscles.
Ah, I like that.
It forces your grip strength, your hands, to coordinate with your core, your shoulders, your legs. Everything has to work as one unit.
That makes sense. It's not just isolated movement.
Exactly. And it taps into how our bodies are meant to move, integrally. The video suggests that sitting a lot can disconnect these muscle groups.
Right.
So this exercise, even starting light, they suggest maybe 15, 20 pounds per hand helps rebuild those connections.
Yeah.
The brain-muscle communication.
So it's less about lifting super heavy weights.
At least initially, yeah. It's more about teaching the body to move together again. They suggest walking for maybe 30 seconds, resting a minute, doing that 3 or 4 times.
Okay, practical guidance.
And you can increase the time or the weight later if you want more challenge.
And they mentioned something about grip strength giving out first.
Yeah, a pro tip. Apparently it's normal if your hands get tired before your legs. Our grip often weakens if we don't use it much.
Right, like opening jars or dropping your phone, as they joked.
Exactly. But consistency helps build it back up. So if feeling less steady or having a weaker grip resonates with you, this seems like a really good starting point.
Okay, foundational. Makes sense. What's next?
Then they shift to posture. Something so many of us deal with, right? All the screen time.
Oh, yeah. The slouching hunch. Tell me about it.
They introduce wall angels as the antidote.
Wall angels. Okay.
It's meant to tackle that stiffness you might feel in your shoulders after a long day, feeling kind of rusty.
Uh-huh. I know that feeling.
So wall angels are presented as this way to actively reverse core posture. It stretches out your chest.
Which gets tight from slouching.
Exactly. And it wakes up those upper back muscles that often get weak and ignored. Plus, it helps realign the thoracic spine.
That's the mid-back area, right? The part that really suffers from office chairs and, Netflix binges.
Precisely. And they make a pretty stark comparison, mentioning studies linking poor posture to faster spinal aging. Sort of like how cigarettes age the lungs.
Wow, okay. That puts it in perspective.
So wall angels are a way to actively fight against that.
And how do you do them? What's the recommendation?
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah. 3
sets of 10 reps daily. That's the suggestion.
Daily. Okay.
And they offer modifications, too. If you can't keep your arms flat against the wall at first, maybe do partial reps or bend your knees slightly. It's about starting where you are.
That's good. Makes it less intimidating. So for anyone feeling that shoulder tightness or noticing their posture isn't great, wall angels sound like a useful, simple habit.
Definitely seems that way.
Yeah.
Then the video moves into cardio.
Okay. Not weights this time.
Nope. Something maybe more nostalgic. Jump rope.
Jump rope. Okay, I haven't thought about that in years.
Right. But the video makes a strong case for its efficiency. They claim 5 minutes of jumping rope can burn more calories than 15 minutes of jogging.
Really? That's significant.
It is. And they point out that top athletes, like boxers, use it all the time for fitness and coordination.
Yeah, you always see boxers skipping.
So beyond just calories, it's highlighted for cardio endurance, but also bone strength.
Ah, bone strength. That's important, especially as you get older.
Definitely. Metabolism might slow down and bone density becomes a bigger concern. That repetitive impact, even low impact, helps stimulate bone growth.
Interesting. So it's not just kids stuff.
Not at all.
Yeah.
And they reassure you no need for fancy footwork, just basic jumping works.
Good to know, because I was never good at the fancy stuff.
Me neither. They even mention Terrence Crawford, a tough boxer, practices it. And briefly, they touch on a product, cross-rope weighted ropes apps.
Okay, so there are modern versions too.
Yeah, suggesting it's still relevant in today's fitness world, even ropeless ones for indoors. But the core message is the basic jump rope itself is surprisingly beneficial. Worth reconsidering, maybe.
Definitely food for thought. Okay, what's exercise number 4?
Back to fundamentals. Lower body strength this time. The squat.
The classic squat. Love it or hate it.
But the video presents it as absolutely essential. They suggest it's kind of the secret behind why some people just move so gracefully and seem strong.
You mean like getting up from a chair easily, that kind of thing?
Exactly. Strong legs are the base for so much. The video lists the muscles: core, glutes, quads, hamstrings, calves.
So pretty much the whole lower body and core.
Right. And it's not just strength. It's also about improving mobility in your hips, knees, ankles. All that translates to feeling steadier, stronger, maybe even a bit younger in how you move.
Okay, so how do they suggest starting? Because squats can feel tricky.
They say aim for a 90-degree angle at the knees to begin. Keep it simple. And they offer a little motivation. Picture climbing stairs without getting winded. That's the kind of functional benefit.
I like that. And variations.
Yeah. For more challenge, they mention the goblet squat, holding a weight at your chest.
Yes. That adds resistance and really engages the core more.
Builds that functional strength we need for everyday lifting and carrying. But the big emphasis is form first. Start light, get the movement right, then think about adding weight.
Crucial advice for squats. So if things like sitting, standing, or stairs feel harder than they used to, bodyweight squats could be a game changer.
Seems like it.
Okay.
Moving back to the upper body, exercise number 5 is the pike push-up.
Pike push-up. Okay, how's that different?
It's positioned as a potentially smarter way to build upper body strength, possibly a bit easier on the joints than, say, a bench press or even standard push-ups for some people.
Easier on the joints. How so?
Well, the focus is more on shoulders, upper chest, and triceps.
Yeah.
The angle of your body in a pike position shifts the emphasis there. The video explains this, helps build that sculpted look, but also functional strength. Carrying groceries, opening things, pushing up, daily stuff.
Right. Practical strike.
Leading to more muscle definition and just feeling more confident in those movements.
What about wrists? Push-ups can be tough on wrists sometimes.
Good point. The video acknowledges they won't be perfectly neutral like with dumbbells, but it generally puts less strain on them compared to some other exercises. That's the claim.
Okay. And the recommendation?
3 sets, maybe 8 to 12 reps. And again, focus on form over speed. Take your time.
Makes sense.
And they add a little joke. Grunting is optional.
Huh. Good to know.
Yeah.
So if someone wants upper body work but finds other exercises uncomfortable on their joints, the pike push-up sounds like a good one to explore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Seems like a solid alternative. Next up, number 6, addresses something really crucial as we age.
Which is?
Balance.
Oh, definitely. Something you don't appreciate until it starts to fade.
For sure. The video using the example of struggling to put on socks standing on one foot. We've all been there, right? Maybe, yeah. So the exercise is the single leg Romanian deadlift or single leg RDL.
RDL, right. How does that help balance?
It strengthens the key players, hamstrings and glutes. But crucially, it also improves proprioception.
Proprioception, that's like your body's internal GPS, right? Knowing where your limbs are.
Exactly. And the video highlights that balance can decline, sometimes quite quickly, after 40.
Scary thought.
But the single leg RDL directly targets those stabilizing muscles and tunes up that internal GPS, so you feel more confident on uneven ground, scares, even dancing, they suggest.
Okay, I see the connection. How do you do it right?
Key is hinging at the hips, keeping your back straight. Not about bending way down or touching the floor.
So control over depth.
Exactly. Focus on form. And if you're new to it, start small. Use a wall or a chair for support. No shame in that.
Good advice. So if you felt a bit wobbly lately, this looks like a very targeted way to work on that balance and lower body strength together.
Yeah, really practical. Okay, number 7 is a bit different. Gets you on the floor.
On the floor. What is it?
The bear crawl.
Bear crawl. Okay, sounds primal.
That's exactly the word they use. Tapping into primal strength, coordination, agility.
So what does it involve? Just crawling like a bear.
Pretty much. On your hands and feet, but crucially, your knees are slightly off the ground. Then you crawl forward.
Knees off the ground. Okay, that sounds harder than it looks.
It engages so much. Core, shoulders, hips, legs. The video emphasizes how it forces everything to work together as a unit, something our modern, often segmented movements lack.
Right. We sit, we type. We don't often move our whole body in that coordinated way.
Exactly. It's like reminding your body how it's actually designed to move, especially after years of sitting.
Okay, interesting concept. What's the workout suggestion?
Start with short bursts, like 20 seconds of crawling, then rest for 40 seconds. Repeat that maybe 5 times.
Short bursts. Manageable.
Yeah. And they add a funny warning. Your friends might laugh until they try it themselves.
I bet. It sounds challenging, but in a good, functional way. A full-body integrator.
That's a great way to put it. Okay, on to the final one. Number 8.
A grand finale. What is it?
This one targets mobility, specifically in the mid-back. It's called thoracic spine rotation.
Thoracic spine. That mid-back area again.
Yep, the part that can feel like a block of concrete, as the video puts it. Stiffness there is really common.
Tell me about it. So this exercise helps unlock that.
That's the goal. It's nicknamed threading the needle. It helps stretch tight chest muscles.
From hunching.
And wakes up the upper back muscles again, restoring mobility to that middle spine section.
What are the tangible benefits they mention?
A really relatable one. After doing it consistently for about a month, checking your blind spot while driving might feel easier. Less stiffness.
Now that's a practical benefit.
Isn't it? They also cheekily mention it's cheaper than a massage.
True.
And it helps you avoid being that person at, like, a party who's always complaining about aches after a workout.
The all ached up workout guy. Nobody wants to be that person.
Right. They even suggest sharing the info if you know someone dealing with that kind of stiffness.
So if your upper back feels tight or restricted when you try to twist, this threading the needle sounds like a really focused solution.
Yeah, exactly. A targeted mobility drill.
Okay, so let's quickly recap those 8. We had
Farmer's walk for foundation and grip.
wall angels for posture.
Jump rope for cardio and bone health.
Squats for lower body strength and mobility.
Pike push-ups for joint-friendlier upper body strength.
Single leg RDL for balance and proprioception.
Bear crawl for primal strength and coordination.
And finally, thoracic spine rotation for mid-back mobility.
Quite a comprehensive list, really.
It really is. And taken together, like we discussed, they offer this well-rounded way to potentially improve strength, stability, posture, general well-being.
Especially relevant, as the video kept noting, for countering some effects of aging or just, sitting too much.
And the best part is, it doesn't sound like you need a huge time commitment for any single one. They seem quite actionable.
Right. You now have this toolkit of exercises drawn from that FitZip video to think about.
Which leads us to the final thought for you, the listener.
Considering everything we've just talked about, your own body, your own goals right now, which one of these 8 exercises kind of clicks with you?
Is there one that tackles an area you've been wanting to improve, like balance or posture or just feeling stronger?
And maybe more practically, what's one small thing you could do this week? Could you try wall angels for a few minutes each day? Or maybe do a few sets of bodyweight squats?
Just think about how incorporating even one of these seemingly simple movements, but doing it consistently, how much of an impact that could actually have on how you feel and move over the long run.
It's definitely something to consider. Small steps, big changes potentially.